So I'm about to do something that I have not done in a while, and that is go completely off the cuff, because this article I just found on The Hollywood Reporter. Disney takes Star Wars off 2026 calendar as Ice Age 6 grabs date. The Star Wars film was originally set to hit theaters in December 2026. The last time I went completely off the cuff like this, I believe, was a year or two ago, because I do write stuff down occasionally, so I have a track. I have a track of mine that I can follow. So I am either going. This video is either going to end with me going off and a bunch of random tangents that I probably don't need to go into, or I can be short, concise, and straight to the point. If I go off in a bunch of tangents as a result, I do apologize for that. As I said, I just came across this article, and I had another Disney Star Wars video written out. I was about to record it until I saw this, so I'm going to push that video back by a couple of days, because I think this one is going to take a little bit of precedent. So let's go into this article, which again, I have not done for at least a couple of years. Disney has removed a planned Star Wars movie from its 2026 release calendar, while the latest installment of a popular animated franchise will take that slot. How popular? Here's where I'm going to first interject. How popular were the Ice Age movies when the last Ice Age movie came out in July of 2016? So when Ice Age, that was Ice Age Collision Course. That was the 5th Ice Age movie. So the Ice Age 6 is not going to come out. Okay, the time difference between Ice Age Collision Course and Ice Age 6 is going to be 10 and a half years if Ice Age 6 is going to take the slot of the next Disney Star Wars movie to hit theaters in December of 2026. That's 10 and a half years. Granted, the Ice Age movies have made money at the box office. There wasn't a single Ice Age movie that bombed. It's just Ice Age Collision Course made less money than the previous movies if you take inflation into account. Ice Age Dawn of the Dinosaurs, I'm pulling all this from thenumbers.com, by the way. Ice Age Dawn of the Dinosaurs grossed nearly $1 billion worldwide. Same with Ice Age Continental Drift that came out all the way back in 2012. Now, I'm going to say this personally. I have seen the first 4 Ice Age movies. That was Ice Age the Meltdown. That was Ice Age 2, was the only one I went to see in theaters. I never saw Ice Age Dawn of the Dinosaurs. I did watch Ice Age Continental Drift because that was the pirate movie, and I did like Ice Age Continental Drift, and I never saw Ice Age Collision Course because that's the one where they went to outer space. And usually when a franchise goes to outer space, that's where everyone says that's where franchises go to die. Like, how ridiculous was Jason X? And despite the fact that I do like Jason X for what it is, I do agree that it was completely ridiculous, but I am a fan of the Friday the 13th movies right around the point when they stopped taking themselves very seriously and started going more ridiculous with Friday the 13th Part 6, where they resurrect Jason and they make him so incredibly overpowered that, he's just like, it's just impossible to stop him. Anyway, I am going off on a tangent, as I said in the beginning of this video, so let's get back into it. Ice Age 6 has now been slated to hit theaters on December 18, 2026. Again, that's a full 10 and a half years after the last Ice Age movie. Details of the Star Wars movie that was initially set for that date had not been disclosed. Disney announced last week that Simon Kinberg had been brought on to write and produce a Star Wars trilogy. I was not aware that Disney announced it themselves. I thought it was a leak from Deadline Hollywood that Disney never confirmed. Someone would probably correct me. Lucasfilm President Kathleen Kennedy will also produce the trilogy, with sources telling the Hollywood Reporter at the time that the films would involve new characters and would not be a continuation of the previous Skywalker saga that spanned episodes 1 through 9 of the sci-fi film franchise. Again, I don't believe Disney ever confirmed the Simon Kinberg trilogy. I thought it was a leak to Deadline, with insiders saying that the Simon Kinberg trilogy was happening, but Disney themselves stayed relatively quiet. Again, I could be wrong. Daisy Ridley's character Rey, I'm just gonna ignore that. Earlier this year, the studio announced that director, God damn it, I hate trying to highlight portions to try to read. Earlier this year, the studio announced that director Jon Favreau's Pedro Pascal-led feature, The Mandalorian and Grogu, will hit theaters May 22nd, 2026. The film is a spinoff of the hit Disney Plus series, The Mandalorian. And at this point, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to interject, because I think we've pretty much covered the meat and potatoes at this point of this article. So, don't try to tell me that Star Wars isn't a dead brand at this point, because all Star Wars is now, post-2019, at least on the movie side, is just announcement, and then production problem after production problem after production problem from alleged insiders, and then projects that have been indefinitely shelved, like Patty Jenkins's Rogue Squadron, which that in and of itself, according to insiders, the script was so fucking bad that it had to be shelved. But again, I want to stress that is just a rumor from alleged insiders, so please do not take my word for that, because I myself cannot independently verify it. But still, that's all Star Wars is on the movie front. It's just announcement, production issue, delay, and then quietly cancel, and then announce next project. That's all it is. Okay, perfect example of that is the Rey movie. Okay, there was news that the Rey movie lost Stephen Knight, lost its latest screenwriter of Stephen Knight, and then all of a sudden, within just a few days of that news breaking, I think within a few days to a week, all of a sudden, here comes this announced new trilogy from Simon Kinberg. Right, it's that scene from The Incredibles. Coincidence? I think not. This is just part and parcel for Disney Star Wars at this point. So again, the fact that now they announced a brand new Simon Kinberg trilogy, but have now removed another movie off the release calendar, and it would not surprise me if there was news that came out in 2025 that, oh yeah, by the way, the Mandalorian and Grogu movie that's set to come out May of 2026, yeah, that's not releasing in theaters anymore. We're just going to put that directly to streaming because it's a sequel to a streaming show. Therefore, it makes more sense to release that to Disney Plus, our streaming service, rather than run the risk of it hitting theaters. After more than 3 or 4 years since Mandalorian season 3, and now people have to watch all these streaming shows in order to watch a movie in theaters. And oh crap, it didn't work out for the Marvels. It's probably not going to work out for Captain America: Brave New World. Disney will get cold feet and pull Mandalorian and Grogu. This is my prediction, and I could absolutely be wrong about this. And if I am wrong, I will happily admit that I am wrong. But I think Disney is going to see that this approach did not work for Marvel in making sequels to their streaming shows as theatrical movies, because the Marvels outright bombed, because the Marvels served as a sequel to not only the Captain Marvel movie, it served as a sequel to WandaVision, the Disney Plus series, Miss Marvel, the Disney Plus series, and Secret Invasion, a third Disney Plus series. And now you have Captain America: Brave New World that is going to serve as a sequel to The Falcon and the Winter Soldier, a Disney Plus series, on top of many other movies from the Infinity Saga. So again, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to end the video off with this, because I know I've dragged this out longer than I needed to go. Don't tell me that Star Wars isn't a dying brand when all we get is announcement, then production problem, then delay, and then all of a sudden you never hear about the movie ever again. Does this sound like a healthy brand, or does this sound like a dying brand? I'm going to leave that for you to infer rather than me answering that hypothetical question.